Dubious ones, welcome back. Today we have a very special one for you. Christmas came early, and I'm giving you the scoop. I am going to give you the lowdown on what Ultra Pro Wrestling's Monday Night Blast is going to be all about, directly from the developer and lead developer and creator, Sam Vallely, from our interview we had this past week. So, without further ado, let's get into it here and show you what Ultra Pro Wrestling Monday Night Blast is all about. So, for a brief synopsis for those who are completely unaware, let's enlarge that for you guys. All right, so Ultra Pro Wrestling's online World of Wrestling compete in ranked online matches where wins and losses determine your rankings. So, basic ranking system. Fight your way up the ranks for a shot at the Global Internet Wrestling Championship. Defended weekly on the live streamed show Ultra Pro Wrestling Monday Blast. That features live commentary, discussion, news, and fan feedback every week. Challenge your rivals, prove your skills, and ascend the leadership boards to claim the title of Ultimate Champion. Seamless matchmaking and a robust ranking system, the online mode provides endless hours of action. Download and share creations from all of our modes. Make it once, live it forever. So, for those of you unfamiliar, every single week we will have a weekly show streamed from Ultra Pro Wrestling called Ultra Pro Wrestling Monday Blast, where there will be one champion for the entire world that is going to be defending their championship every week. Now, if for whatever reason they're unable to have crossplay, then we could potentially see things like a PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam and Switch champions. They don't want to do that. They're aiming for crossplay, but there are backup procedures in place just in case. Same thing, if there's issues with connections, they can then create a North American, a European, an Asian champion if they have to separate by region. But the goal is to have just one champion that is going to defend that online championship every week. And here, from Sam Vallely himself, from our interview, I will let you guys hear for yourselves about how it's going to work, all the details we can get for Ultra Pro Wrestling Monday Blast. Here we go. And so one of the things I thought was one of the most fascinating things, and I think one of the most ambitious things you guys are planning on doing, is you're having a weekly TV stream where you're having a weekly event where you're going to be having a championship defended every week. We obviously don't know at this point if crossplay is going to be 100% at launch or not. If it is, I know the plan is just having one champion. That's it, an internet champion for all platforms. Otherwise, if you have to do, I've heard the ideas thrown up in the past of maybe having a North American champion, maybe having you know what I mean, just because of connections and stuff. If you have to do stuff like that, or having an Xbox champion, a PlayStation, if crossplay isn't there at launch. But because this has never been done before, and it sounds so fast, because this is a way that even if the player base isn't huge, it's something that'll bring them together every week, that will get players playing the game and for online matches, which for me as an online player, it's a huge deal. So I was curious on how players will be able to match each other for specific, either be it the title matches or number one contenders matches. Say you do like a battle royal for the number one contender or even for the championship. How will viewers, as well as how will we match each other for that, but how will viewers via Twitch or YouTube or whatever be able to watch those matches? Like if, say, it's just some random person who doesn't stream, doesn't have a setup or anything, how will we be able to watch that title match, as well as how will the players themselves be able to link up? So sorry, it's a two-part question.
All right, yeah. Watching the title match, that's something that we will do live. So when that, it won't just be a match that, like, if you're the champion, you don't get to just decide, okay, I'm going to defend it at 7 o'clock tomorrow. It's if you're the champion, you can obviously play in other matches and non-title matches.
Of course.
But you have to then defend the title at the weekly show. And that'll be something.
But how are viewers going to be able to watch that match? Like, my thoughts was like if you were going to do a special guest referee where you're the ref every week, and we would just see it from your perspective of, like, you know what I mean? We would be able to watch the match via your stream. That was the only way I could think that you could go about it, where this title match, could be broadcast on the stream. Because I don't know how else you could go about it.
Yeah, I guess it's like whenever you do something online, all the inputs and everything are recorded and they're uploaded to the server. So that server, that all that information just comes back to it just gets interpreted in technically another version of the game that's just sort of relaying the information so the person who's defending the title, he doesn't have to be streaming it or anything like
That's
that.
what I mean, right? That's
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
So if I'm
He's
just
just
a
playing.
viewer on Twitch, how are you going to have the stream where we're going to be able to watch the match in real time?
So you're gonna like host it then?
Yeah, you would go to
Okay.
Twitch / UltraProWrestling, whatever it is, and we will have basically a real time recreation of the match happening. Basically, getting the information from our servers, what's happening with the match, and
Like a
then
live broadcast, huh?
yeah, we're doing like a live broadcast essentially.
Nice. That's
There,
cool.
there might be like a little bit of a delay. It might not be exactly real time.
But you'd be able to just take someone's match that they're playing on their console and broadcast that with like.
Well, if they're playing it on the console,
Yeah.
that match is already being all their inputs and everything like that, it's already been taken and processed in a server, and that's how the whole online stuff works anyway.
But
so
you're able to take that input and broadcast that.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's pretty
So
cool. I didn't know that.
just as an example on that, if I was just having a match with Stryzer and we weren't broadcasting or anything, but it was online, would you have the ability just to take that specific match and broadcast it if you wanted?
I think
Like,
yeah,
could you do that for any online match then?
we'd have to do it beforehand. We'd have to set it up, and I think we'd have to basically
Have it just set to record beforehand, kind of thing.
yeah, basically.
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
I'm not sure if we could like retroactively go back and
Okay.
because that might be cool to find like if someone if someone actually
match,
does.
right?
Yeah, if someone does win, a title match, and you could somehow go back and see their journey and almost
Yeah.
recreate matches that they've had. But that might be a lot of work to do that.
Sure, but I didn't
And
know you could do this.
I mean,
I've never heard of this.
there might be easier ways to do it once we test this stuff. And if it turns out that it's very processing heavy, then we might have to try and think of other ways of doing it, which might involve
Like special guest referee. That to me, that was you play as the ref or whomever that can stream it, and then you can stream it that way, and you just play as an unbiased ref. And for all title matches, you're the. That's how I thought you were going to do it. So this is news to me. This is cool.
That's
essentially a similar way that it works. You're basically you're observing the match through a third party, but that person who's observing that match is basically it's almost the same process of just the inputs from the players are being processed and then being broadcast to that other person. But you don't really need that special guest referee to be there. You don't really need an extra account, an extra character. You just have another.
I just had no idea that worked that way. Like there was an on server and you could set that up. I just assumed you would have to be present in the match so that we could watch your stream. As you know what I mean? As like I just assumed.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, we don't have that built out or anything just yet. Our online stuff that we have is quite bare bones just now.
Of course.
So there's a lot that we need to test and make sure that what we're doing is performance wise the best way of doing it. But yeah, no, I don't think it's an issue. I don't think there's any issues with taking a match that two people out in the world are playing against each other and taking that information and basically recreating a match, whether we have to be in there as a referee or a third party account or anything like that, and then broadcasting that match and then commentating on it and creating a show around it and all that stuff as well.
Fascinating.
I know that some fighting games have a spectator mode where it lets you watch the match while you're just sitting there waiting in the lobby for your match to start. So maybe that's a way you could go about it. That way you watch it that way, so you're not like having to go through all these hoops to try to get that to work. Because a spectator mode, that'd be a super easy way to just watch it that way.
Yeah. I mean that that's almost kind of what I was trying to explain, where it's like you're taking that information, it's going to the server anyway, so you're just relaying it back to a spectator account. So that was like a long-winded way of basically almost saying the same thing.
Super cool to me.
Developer way of explaining it.
So there you have it. I was clearly unfamiliar. I wasn't even thinking of like spectator mode from like Street Fighter 6 or anything like that, because we've never seen anything like that in a wrestling game where you can replay like online matches or have like replays of stuff. So I was just so confused on how they would be able to take a random online match, like be a title match or not, and not have something like a special guest referee or something where he's able to stream it from his, like him playing the game. Like that they can just take a match that's going on online and they can have it set up to record that and broadcast it live. You know, I didn't know they could do that. But again, obviously, fighting games have been doing this for years. You know, I should have really thought about that, but it's just something we've never seen in wrestling games. So I was so confused on how they'd be able to do that. So yeah, you guys, like I was really impressed to hear that he had some answers to these questions. I was really shocked to just know that like we're gonna have a weekly show every week live that's gonna have a champion defending their belt, and he has stated in the past, for those not familiar, like say the show goes on, like I don't think they've defined the exact time the UPW Monday Blast will go on, but say it's at 7 p.m. Eastern every week is when it starts. And if you're unable to, say you're the champion and you're unable to defend your title that week, then you'll just be stripped, right? And there will be a title match in place of, and you'll just lose the championship. And maybe you can, you know, try and win your title back the following week, like because you know people have lives, right? If you're stuck, you're working that week, you happen to be the champion, you can't make the stream, stuff happens. But there will be a title match regardless every week. So if the champion's unable to defend, then there'll just be a new title match with 2 number 1 contenders. They'll fight for the title and there'll be a new champion. So you will have that title match every week, regardless if the champion's there to defend or not. It's going to be very strict of like, if you're not there for the weekly show, you're just stripped. Simple as that. No 30 days, nothing like that. But this is the most unique thing I think I've ever heard of a wrestling game doing, is having a weekly show, like a Monday Night Raw, Wednesday Night Dynamite. But every Monday you're going to get UPW Monday Blast. It's going to be a live stream that you can watch. We can watch via Twitch, via their Twitch channel, or YouTube, or wherever they're going to be streaming it on. I think they're going to be streaming it on Twitch. Not 100% yet. I'm sure they're not 100% yet either, because we're still early in development. But such a cool feature. And I didn't know how they were going to pull it off, where you're going to be able to watch these matches, and boom, there's your answer. Now we know. So I just think that's so rad. He did mention in the past, like if we look over here, as it says, fight your way up the ranks for a shot at the Global Internet Championship, which makes it sound like whoever would be the highest in the ranking would be getting the title shot every week. But he did mention it in a prior interview or his own Q&A. I do remember him, Sam, mentioning that it's not just going to be who's number 1 in the ranks, like on online. It's not going to be that person that gets the title shot every week. Because say there's someone like, you know, that's so high up there that it's just every week after week, if he loses, he's just always the guy fighting for the championship. They didn't want that. So the rankings will have something to do with it, but it's not guaranteed just because you're the number 1 in the ranks that you're going to be getting the shot every week. They said they'll be doing some things, like some weeks maybe they'll have a battle royal for a number 1 contendership. And then the following week, then the winner of that battle royal would be the next contender. Or just whatever else. They might have, you know, matches between the top ranked guys on the show as well, to determine the contender for the following week, stuff like that. So I thought it was really interesting that it's not just guaranteed that if you're just number 1 in the ranks because you've cheesed the ranking system somehow, that you're automatically going to be getting the shot every week and be featured on the show every week. That was really important for them to have that, so that people have other opportunities in other ways, so that if you're a newer player, it's not as intimidating. You still have a way to get into the game and possibly get into that title match, which to me is so cool. Like, what better bragging rights than having this beautiful, here, I don't know, here, I'll show you, this beautiful championship right here. Just gorgeous. I myself, whoa, that's like super close. Oh, can we see the championship? So this beautiful belt right here, I will be getting my very own, as I am on the championship level for the Kickstarter for this game. So I can't wait to receive my Internet Championship in the mail. But so very cool that they're doing this. And that every single week we are going to see well, maybe not necessarily a different champion, but a championship match every week. And it's only defended on the show. And they've also mentioned that it's going to start as a weekly show, UPW Monday Blast, but they might eventually do a pay-per-view, say once a year, like have a big like WrestleMania feel, or maybe that could expand to say 4 pay-per-views a year, like the old Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania kind of deal. But at the beginning, it's just going to start every week, UPW Monday Blast. And again, if they build up and they build a community around this really takes off, because this is the first time we've ever heard of anything like this in a wrestling game. So I'm very, very excited about it. So I'd like to know your guys' feedback, and if you have any other questions that maybe weren't answered about UPW Monday Blast or anything really Ultra Pro Wrestling wise, any questions you have, please feel free to ask down below. I know a lot about this game. I've been following it in depthly. I know pretty much everything there is to know about this game, so I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. And hell, if you have any interesting questions that haven't been answered, leave them down below as well, because I can always, next time we have Sam Vallely around for an interview, I can ask him directly. But yeah, please leave your comments down below. Leave this video a like. And if you haven't already, please give me a subscribe, as I am on the road to my 1,000 subscriber number, that magical number for monetization. So please give us a subscribe, and happy holidays to everybody. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. I hope everybody has a safe holidays and a wonderful new year. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Dubious ones, that's it for now. Peace.